All right, gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the ranking show. We were just talking before we got on here, and we got a lot to talk about. We're going to start with what happened in 1A over the weekend. You guys have the floor. What are some significant things? Do we start at 103? Do we talk about some notable matchups, or what do you guys got?
Yeah, let's start with 106.
Okay.
Just if that
Erie?
works for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just work our way up. Yep.
I have some Dvorak information. I have some Erie Prophetstown information. I have some Unity invite information. But I guess in no particular order. Let me just start how I wrote it down. I got non-ranked, just a kid we talked about, Marion Cam Spinolis, went 2-2 at Dvorak. And when I started digging into stuff, I guess Marion Central was the only 1A team at Dvorak. I didn't know that. I thought there was a handful of teams. I didn't.
Yeah.
Well,
Dakota.
Dakota.
Oh yeah, so that couldn't have been right then.
Dakota
Yeah.
had a couple guys there.
Dakota, but I mean, I don't know if you're too far off. Dakota is probably, maybe
One of the
one of the
Yep.
few.
But so yeah, Spinolis goes 2-2 at Dvorak. I think that's my Dvorak.
Dakota is the only other 1A team at the Dvorak. There's 43 teams. They finished in 42nd. They only brought 6 kids, but
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just brought that up because you wanted to make sure that
I think so. Yeah, I thought I had more too. I thought I had more 106 Dvorak information, but we'll be jumping into 2A if we do that. But Vince, our number one guy out of 2A, won it.
So Dvorak, we got to put on the shelf if we're going to go through the 1A rankings, just because it's mostly 2A and 3A.
Yeah, that works.
Rankings.
That works.
I think the tournament.
The big, like you say, some of the big tournaments we've seen this weekend was the Erie Prophetstown and the Unity had a tournament as well, and there were some good matchups there between some highly ranked kids facing off this weekend. I know at 106 we saw Ray Terry wrestle Landon Neer from Newman. That was a finals match, and the right kid from Morrison will be at 106 also.
Yeah, Neer wrestled him.
Yep, him and Neer wrestled in the semis. It was almost like a 5-point match going into or a 7-point match like that going into the third period. I'm not sure what the final was, but
it was Neer beat Wright 14-0.
Yep. So,
and then Terry over Neer 10-0 in the finals.
Yep, Terry took him down. I want to say 3 times. So.
Yeah. That's, I mean,
Terry's, he's a pretty stout 6-pounder. He looked pretty, he filled the spot pretty well. He wrestled very physical, tough, and nothing to take away from Neer. Fundamentally sound kid. I can see there's, a lot of bright in his future for sure. So nothing to take away from him, but we obviously got to slide Terry, or he was already ranked number 1, wasn't he?
Yep, he was our number 1 guy. So at that Erie Prophetstown holiday tournament, you got Neer taking first. You got you got Raiden Terry taking first. You got Landon Neer taking second, and you got Cale Wright taking third.
Yep.
But I do have some dope on who is our. Pull that back up, Don, will you please, just so I don't have to. Zane Stanley. I do have some dope on him, so we don't want to start changing too many things.
Well, so do I even change? Is there anything to be changed? Is this right guy?
No, we're going to do some changes here. Unity invite. Would that have been the one that, Unity invite tournament? Charlie Flores, Tech Falls, Zane Stanley.
Okay.
Remember the other day when we did this podcast out here and I mentioned that kid Brandon Gaither from Olympia, and I said, hey, he's 14-1 or something. I mean, he's beat 14 kids. He's got 1 loss. And we didn't really have him.
Brandon
Gaither from Olympia.
Yep.
Remember, I just said, what? Like let's put him on the radar just to put him on the radar. He Tech Falls Zane Stanley at the tournament.
Zane Stanley got Tech Fall twice.
Correct. And then Paris Boltman from Rochester, which I believe is a 2A school. That was Gaither's single loss in the semis.
And Gaither, what tournament? This is Unity, you said?
Yeah, Unity Invite it was called, or Unity Invitational.
Yep.
Okay, I should have put that one in my my results from the weekend.
I can throw a bunch of information out at you guys real fast, and we can just kind of decipher it, or like decipher through how it changes things if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Because Charlie Flores, he's a single A.
Yep.
He's
Yep,
at the single A.
Houston.
Yeah.
Houston, yep.
And so he took first at the tournament. And so does that put Charlie Flores in the sixth spot? And we just move Jacoby Cobbs and Drinkwine up, or what else you got?
I
any
don't
more
know.
info?
I haven't seen I looked on track. I don't know that Drinkwine competed the last couple weekends, so he might just be getting moved out of. What do you want to call that? Not bumped out, just moved maybe because he's not competing. I don't know how you, but I know in real, like in the big time rankings, that's how people protect their rankings too. They just don't compete. I'm not saying the kid's doing that. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know if you can move them just for not competing. I don't know if that's a legit thing to do.
Well, that has been talked about at the Division I level, just from the college level, like guys that don't compete. Do you put put points against them because how long are they going to be in the rankings? The question in our situation, we're kind of doing this for fun. Our rankings won't be they won't be in play when it comes to ranking the state tournament or anything like that. So we have the freedom if we want to say Colton Drinkwine hasn't proved that he's actually going to wrestle 106, then we can just assume that he's wrestling 113 and take him off the 106 rankings. So
yeah,
but
I haven't seen him wrestle at all, whether it be 6 or 13.
Yeah, so I mean,
and just on track. I'm not saying that he hasn't. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys got?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put somebody I think needs to be probably number 4. Leland Nelson from Richmond Burton beat Josh West's boy. I can never remember his first name. I'm sorry. Carson West, 9-5. He's got 2 titles and a runner-up finish at Rockford East, right?
At K-State.
Was that?
A runner-up IKWF State.
Well, no, but I'm saying this year. I'm saying he's
okay,
wrestled 3 high school tournaments. He's a big 6-pounder. He puts up points. I think he's got one loss on the year, but he had a pretty
we brought him
solid win over Carson West this past weekend in the finals. He looks ready to, as a freshman, to be on that podium. We're talking about kids getting tech falled, and I know they're tough and things happen, but
I got you.
Oh, I hear you.
Like Udin's ranked 6th. Udin got tech falled by a kid that beat. I know it's apples and, but that same kid beat them at 11-2. That's just over a major, and he tech falled Udin. So I think he needs to move into the rankings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and when you say Emmett, you mean Leland.
Sorry, Leland Nelson. I apologize.
Yeah.
Got
it.
It's becoming a regular thing on this.
I see a pattern forming.
Pinzo.
So I think we got to figure a way to get Charlie Flores in and Leland Nelson in as well, because we talked about Leland Nelson. What did he do at the Richmond tournament? Did you say
he won Richmond?
Won it. Yeah,
Okay.
he won that. He got second at Rockford East, you said, right? So
and then he just won Glenbrook South this weekend. He
got two first and a second.
Okay.
And I mean, the Flores kid from Houston, we can't count him out. I mean, the Rochester kid he beat in the finals. I mean, Flores is the junior, so I mean, you got junior at 106 from Houston, and the kid he beat in the finals from Rochester was a state qualifier in 2A last year. So I mean, I think that name. I mean, nothing against Nelson. I mean, obviously Nelson kid is definitely a name to be bringing up here. Big kid, great results. So I mean, those are 2 names that we don't have listed in top 6
Right.
that I think could definitely be up there.
Like for me, I look at you go rating Terry 1, and then you go near 2, Jacoby Cobbs 3, Flores 4, Leland Nelson 5.
Who was our number 6 guy?
I don't have a number 6, but
Well, here's what did we have? Michael Panarail. Remember, he was a senior out of Stillman Valley. Did we have? I know we talked about him. I know what we did with him.
I don't think we hit. Yeah,
well,
what about drink wine?
That's when I can't find anything on. If you could just show me where he's competed, because I'm looking and I don't know.
Or you drop Stanley to 6.
Well, so this is another thing to consider. What I'm willing to do now is try to add to this 6. So instead of just deleting Zane Stanley from the awareness, now we can start adding him to the standings. But obviously, after taking those losses, we can put him down on the standings. So I think Stanley can go. I mean, he lost twice this weekend.
Yeah, Brandon Gaither's got to be ahead of him then, because Gaither would be. Let me Google him real fast, but I bet you he's 16-1.
No, he's got it lost twice. He lost to Evans and Boltman. Evans 14-1, Boltman 9-0.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Stanley got tech fold twice this weekend.
Yeah, so Gaither has to be above. Gaither has to be above Zach Stanley wrestling math.
Zane.
Yeah, Zane.
Got it.
You also got to look at. I look at like Vandalia's down south. They got a freshman, Aiden Evans. He's got some losses at 13. He just lost in Civic Memorial Finals over. He lost to. Wait.
I don't know what you're doing now. I'll talk about the Stillman Valley tournament, because that's kind of exclusive to Northern Illinois Wrestling. Aiden Healy Jr. from Dundee Crown, Tech Falls, Panarail in the finals. Cam Whitehead out of Winnebago takes 3rd. Aiden Spinelli out of Amboy takes 4th. And our little buddy Jordan Lowe out of Oregon goes 0-2 at the Stillman Valley Holiday Tournament. And Jordan's a tough kid, so I don't know what's going on. Like, maybe he didn't. Maybe he had a bad day. Maybe he had a bad draw.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's interesting results, because did you say Carpentersville Dundee Crown is 2A or 3A?
I believe they're at 3-8.
3A.
Yeah, they've been 3A before, but I didn't know if their enrollment had been down or not. Because some of those suburban teams kind of bounce around, just their enrollment changes. Yeah, I mean that's not a good loss. I mean, anytime you get Tech Fall, it's hard to imagine that you're gonna place in the top 6 in the state tournament. But it's possible. So I mean, again, this is the trouble. So I think we got to just in the short term, we'll take Zane Stanley out. We'll insert Charlie Flores, add Leland Nelson, and you said Steve Uden had 2 losses. Mark?
Hold on. I was looking at something.
Yeah, do the wrestling math on Uden and Gaither, because I think Gaither's in it.
Uden's got tech falled by Koenig and 14-6 to Maluk. I don't know where that was at. Get from Oak Field Salt Force. I don't know where the 2 losses came from. Yeah.
All right. Well, he's lost. Let's put but you said Gaither's had 2 losses as well.
Let me see who they're 2.
Gaither got beat by Evans 14-1 and Boltman 9-0.
And where's Bolton from?
That's Rochester.
Oh, Rochester.
Yep. That was the eventual champ at the Unity tournament.
He got second. Boltman got second.
Yep.
Oh, he did?
Flores beat him.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you go. There you go. Yep.
And that was a decision 5-3. So I like that loss as opposed to yeah, I mean, so do we bump Uden out and put Pierce Boltman in at 6? Gaither's at 7.
No, he's Rochester. That's 2A.
Yeah, Rochester. Hey, who did Long just beat Mark Stewart when we were talking today? Who did Long beat?
Oh, he was down 10-1 and went double unders and threw Kalishnikov, however you say it, from Montini to his head and stuck him.
Kirchhoff, yeah.
So
Okay,
that's,
is that Jaden Long or am I looking at the wrong name?
that's Ray Long from
Okay, so then no, not
Niles,
even the
Notre
same
Dame.
Long. All right,
He's
yep,
a 2A kid.
not the right guy then. Yeah, because I don't.
Yeah. If anything, I think what I would do is I would say, to me, it's Raiden Terry's 1, 2 is Landon Neer, Jacoby Cobbs is 3, 4 is
Flores.
5 is Leland Nelson.
Do we put 4? Do we put 2 at number
6
4?
is Panarel.
No, Mark,
Why?
no. Because no.
You're the one that brought him up.
I know. I'm just saying he got teched in the finals at his own tournament, and then at the Stillman Valley Holiday Tournament, and then I don't know what. Hold on, let me look.
Or Aiden Evans to me from Vandalia. Vandalia's got a lot of good lower weights. They're it's the iron sharpen irons mentality. I imagine that kid. His losses are at 13.
Leland Nelson. How bad did he beat Panarail at the Richmond Burton tournament?
11-8.
Okay, so not okay. I didn't know if it was. All right, so Leland's in, right? I mean, we agree on that. Aiden Evans has a win over Gaither, the one I'm pushing for, 14-1.
Yep.
Yep.
This is what I got right now. So Terry 1, Near 2, Cobbs 3, Flores 4, Nelson 5, Evans 6, Gaither 7, Drinkwine 8, Panarel 9, Stanley 10.
I won't argue it. I think Drinkwine's higher with an asterisk next to his name, though. Can we do that?
Yeah, I think until he proves that he's going to make the weight class, we'll just keep him down.
And this is pre-Abe's, pre-pit. Vandalia comes up to the pit. They're gonna be we'll see some good matchups there as well. So
yeah,
like I say, in matter of 2 weeks, a lot of these are gonna be cleaned up pretty close. So
and like I said, I definitely want to take the time to get to 10. I think 10 would be a great number. It seems what a lot of other rankings are doing. So 10, if
yeah.
So
I think a top 10 is a good idea, especially with.
I mean, to be honest, I'd do top 20 if we knew that they weren't going to get the results weren't going to change so often. So.
If you guys are going to lump me at 106, I'll do top 30.
Yeah. Well, all right.
I got too much emotional attachment to all these little guys. There's so many good ones. So many good ones.
The problem is, like, some are only 90 pounds, right? So we know that how good they are, and it's like, dude, you're way better. He's way better than this kid, but he's not going to beat him because the kid's 113 pounds coming down to 6, and the kid on a full belly is 93.5 pounds. It's like, dude, you're just getting manned up on out there, little guy.
Yeah. No, I agree there. That's
and I can't update it super fast. But I'll send, we'll get these updated. So going into 13, any particular changes?
I have. Where do we have Austin? Augie, he was number 2. I have him taking 6th at the Dvorak. He pins the Lincoln Way East kid. A Tech Falls Brendan White, who I think we talked about from Dakota.
Yeah.
Then he medically forfeits out the second aid to take 6th place.
He stays number 2 to me.
Dylan
Eimer should be 3.
Over Swanson?
Yes.
And any particular reason? We didn't. I don't know if we had any information.
Augustus Swanson is injured right now.
Oh.
okay.
Don't know how the depths of it.
What time did I tell Penn? 7:06?
You said 7:15.
Oh, God, did I?
Does anybody have any connections in Princeton? They wanted to find out if that's like season ending or.
I think Buddy might more so than anybody.
Well, it looks like if it's Princeton, then I mean we'll know more January 10th or something. But I wish it would be nice if we could. Where was Princeton at this last weekend?
They would have been at Erie Prophetstown, right? Buddy, they were with you?
No, they were not down there.
Oh, really?
Princeton's not there. Yeah, I thought.
Oh, they were at Unity. They were at Unity because I saw somebody when we get to the bigger weights.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Dylan got first at 113.
Mhm.
We
And Swanson didn't wrestle?
Swanson, yeah, Swanson was not there, so I guess
Eimer's been beat twice this year, both by Philpott that I know of.
yeah. So Swanson didn't compete. We'll move him to the side. Eimer third. We're gonna move them up. Yeah, I mean, so Swanson could have competed. He didn't compete. He didn't compete at 20 either.
Mhm.
Are you sure they're at Princeton's there? I don't see any Princeton.
Unity?
Yeah.
They were. Hold on, let me go to my bigger weights because.
Yeah, I don't see them. They don't go by a different name or anything, do they? No, Princeton. Princeton.
Yeah, I don't.
No, Princeton was at wherever you were, buddy, because Maddox Anderson wrestled Oliver McPeak.
That's Orion.
Oh. Orion, Princeton.
Here. I mean,
There goes like,
Yeah, there goes your 1A correspondent.
look at Mark Stewart just smiling too. Look at
Well, technically, Mark wasn't correct about it over you. You were
Correct.
just wrong.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm on Princeton's high school website, right? And it's like one of those websites like for high school, and I think I'm pretty good at navigating these.
Yeah.
This one is not. I don't like this one. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I don't like it at all.
I most of them I don't like. I've looked for schedules a lot, and sometimes it's on Snap. That's a separate site that isn't often connected to the school's website. So, yeah, the school doesn't do a great job at making it convenient to find out where they were and what they were doing and stuff like that.
No, it wants you to like log into 8 to 18, and then you got to like it shows you like it gives you a thing to go through instructions on how to navigate 8 to 18 website.
Yeah, I'm gonna search on track where they were this weekend. So 12, 20, they had the Saber Invitational. And the Saber
Was that Monticello? Is it Monticello Sabres?
Let's see. But looks like
I can't believe I got Orion and Princeton confused. Are they both blue and white?
No.
No.
Orion's red and black.
Dude, it's in your backyard. How do you not know their school colors?
Yeah, Princeton's. Yeah.
Call Jason or Jeremy or the Saber Invitational's in DeWitt, Iowa.
oh really?
Okay. DeWitt tournament. Okay.
Hold on. In DeWitt. Final results.
I think their away colors are the same.
Braden Bickett. Okay, yeah, Princeton definitely was here. They had a kid, Kane Dauber from Princeton.
Mm-hmm.
He won it.
26. Was he at 26?
32.
Oh,
Freshman, 11-0. Won.
Yeah.
Beat kid from Wilton, Iowa, 8-6 in the finals.
but why is he's at 32? All right. Well, that's not good for our rankings.
Ace Christensen took second at 44.
No Augusta Swanson at 13 or 20.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. So Augusta Swanson, we'll move him out, and we'll see what's to come of it. So we got Philpott, Hagavold, Eimer, Sweely, Peterson, and
Perez won the Stillman Valley tournament. Josiah Perez out of Oregon won the Stillman Valley tournament.
Yeah.
I looked at results. I didn't write anything down because I don't know. I guess I was trying to just write down like significant wins in our own mind, if you will, like in our own rankings.
Yeah.
So he won it, but I don't know who he beat to win it on paper.
He beat Chase Vogel from Johnsburg 10-2.
Who's that, Mark?
Chase Vogel. I do not know who Chase Vogel is. He does not stick out to me Sorry, I spilled something, boys. So I had to walk away from the screen real quick.
Yeah, but just to speak on Josiah's had a couple good wins the last couple matchups. So
Yeah, Josiah's tough.
yeah, he's gonna
Mhm.
work himself into that contention, that conversation. So I think putting him in somewhere in the top 10 is feasible.
Oh yeah.
Trying to figure out who gets the matchups. Obviously, these matchups got to happen. Brandon White didn't wrestle. I asked Brandon White at the Dvorak why he didn't wrestle, and he had I think a skin issue that kept him out. But
Got that
unfortunately,
monk.
unfortunately, that didn't get to happen because that would be a good match that was going to have implications at the sectional tournament. So we might not honestly not get to see that until sectionals.
That'd be regional final match.
Oh yeah, sorry, regionals. So Brandon White and Josiah Perez are definitely two people that are going to have an opportunity to sneak in there because Hagavold is the favorite out of the sectional, and then behind him will be Brandon White, Josiah Perez. Who do you guys have, buddy? I see he's gonna be somewhere around there. I don't know if they wrestled.
Yeah, we
he
will.
wrestled Josiah. Yeah, Josiah kind of been out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be tough to not
that-
include those two with that state conversation. So
It's just gonna be a tough sectional, especially if Swanson comes back. You throw in.
yeah, if he comes back, then he's that rounds out with 4 potential people. So
Yep.
all right. Well, who would I add?
Swanson will be back for Abe's.
He will.
Yep.
Okay. And at 13.
That I didn't get, but he will be back at Abe's. So
Okay.
we will at least he'll be in the lineup, so we'll be able to see him here shortly. So yeah, so then you throw that name in there too at the sectional. Swanson, Hagee, White, Perez, and then there's a Reyes kid from Newman as well that was in the finals at Erie. So
I saw that. Is he an Albert kid or his little brother is, or they both are?
I know the brothers are. I don't remember if he was there or not much, but yeah, wrestling family. So, and the Newman crowd's really running hard right now too. So
Augustus ones, you got to find out, buddy, if he's going to be at 13.
okay.
What did Sweely do this weekend, Stuart?
Cole Sweely.
Wheelie, was he at Unity? He was at Unity. Took first at 120.
Okay. Oh, at 120.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. He could have just
No.
went for better competition.
Yeah, I mean, he could still be coming down too. I mean, they don't. What's the last? Is there a final date that they have to be down at?
No, it all determines when you started your certification. So like
Yeah.
whenever he got pinched, I think they only allow a certain percentage of what your weight is per week. So
I mean, if you had a certification date that 2 days before the regional, you would be certifying. Like if you could go 13 2 days before regionals, you can weigh in at regionals at 113 scratch. That's your certification date.
right.
For that, you know what I'm saying? If you were that heavy, I'm sure there's a few kids in the state of Illinois who have some really late certification dates that they want to come down.
Some by choice, some not.
Yeah.
I don't is there a how do I say a last day you can get pinched? Do you know? Is there a day?
There might be a day you can file even if you've had an issue. Let's say I don't know if there is a date. I don't remember correctly.
Yeah.
But let's say you wanted to appeal the ruling on your, and file for a to get re-pinched. And the IHSA can review that. Like for certain cases, they've done it. They've allowed it where like a kid's, for whatever reason, they've allowed kids to recertify. There is an appeal process. They rule in your favor sometimes. They don't in other cases.
Yeah.
But I don't know about deadlines to get pinched.
Yeah. Well, when you find out about Augustus Swanson at 6, again, I think it's tough to move him if he's planning to come back at 13 and at Princeton. I know you said he's out and you think that that he should be 4, but I think the way we did it, I think he has to be 3. Um,
So
Okay.
just keep everything the same then. So Sweeney,
Yep.
Peterson, 5-6, move on.
Yeah.
Cool.
I got told that he's going to certify at 13, but the choice of 13 or 20 is going to be in the air yet. So gonna make the weight, then see how well he makes the weight, and go from there.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to consider that too, because if that's not even a clear sign, then we can kind of force our hand to make sure that we have the people who are wrestling, because I mean that changes a lot of things for that weight class. All right, let's move on to 20. Anything at 20?
I have a question about 20. How did we never mention Barrett Speck?
Oh yes, Illini Bluffs kid.
Yeah.
Yes,
How did he not?
I saw him this weekend. I was actually talking to the Carroll kid, right? Yeah, and I brought him up, and he's like, he's gonna play all 4 years guaranteed. Barrett Speck, 3-time IESA champ. That name needs to get brought into the conversation. Yes,
He has a win over Colton Schultz, and Colton Schultz is a murderer. So I mean the win was January 28th, 2024. So it's a while back, but it's
Well, yeah, and I believe I saw that Lindenmuth lost.
yeah, Lynmouth, Coal City.
Yeah, he got beat in a duel. Right? Who did they duel this last week?
I'm not sure.
Nah.
Coal City's been in some big duel tournaments already. Quite a few duels. It's pretty hard to. I mean, I think it's awesome. They compete a lot. That's
it was
awesome,
at
but
Joliet. They wrestled Joliet. So
Okay, yeah, they come in heavy with some big schools actually. Early in the season, I know like their team record isn't always the greatest, obviously, but they wrestle tough competition.
Yeah, and against Joliet Central, Linmuth won at 26, so that wasn't it. Let's see. Yeah, he's at 26 there.
it looks like he's lost twice. Swartz 1-0 and Tianco by fall.
Yep, I got the fall one. Yeah.
Just how do you guys look at when you click on their profile? How do you look at their individual matchups results?
Well, I use multiple things. I mean, I'm not going to lie and not say that. I mean, I'll go on Illinois Man and you see what what they've gotten, and then I'll click on the kid's name, copy paste, go into or I'll go to just track wrestling in general. And if I know they're at a tournament, so a lot of times it's hard for me to find dual losses unless like something comes up on like Instagram, because the reality is like teams are competing so much now, right?
Yeah.
All over time. It's like it's so hard to follow. Some are, yeah, exactly. Some are, but it's hard to follow it sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially these teams that wrestle these quads and they do a lot of duels like that. I'm like,
I got it now. Look at this. Hold on. Look at this. Oh, let me see.
Hey, I'm gonna mute myself. I'll be right back because it's way past 7:15.
All right. This right. Oh, this is not helpful. Never mind. So he is. Let's see. He lost to Swartz. That's what you were just about to say, right? From Oakwood.
Mhm.
That's where his last loss was. And that was at 120 pounds. So Mason Schwartz is not in our 120 rankings, and he has to be considered. From Oakwood.
Mason Schwartz.
So I think that's.
I mean, here's the thing.
Schwartz.
Mason Schwartz from Oakwood, Salt Fork.
Yep.
Yeah.
Won the Marmion. He has been tech followed by
Waddle.
Waddle. But Colin Lindemuth is a senior. Bianco by Fall Sports 1-0. Part of the problem is when you're looking at a 6-man, I know what you're saying, we can go 10. Like when you look
Where
at
the-
it, hold on, when you look though, and you're going, okay, this kid, when you get out, okay, outside of 4, it becomes kind of a mess, right? Because like you got to give respect to Brady Mauser from Leroy. Preston Waddle's a returning freshman state champ. He's a hammer. He's a stud Vandalia kid. Tennyson's your 1, and Waddle's right there at 2, then Mauser. Like, dude, I even struggle with there, and that's Lawrence and Mauser at 5 and 6. I would put Lindenmuth. He is behind Mauser and Lawrence at this time. Not saying he ends up that way, but
Yeah. Well, no, again, we've said this before, Mark, and again, I think obviously you're just, revisiting the concept, right? Rankings are never really ever accurate because we're ranking in imperfect system, right? These kids are all kind of up and down. There's a few kids, maybe there's a top 3 that kind of run away with it, but then the other 6 to 10, they're going to be competing at the state tournament. So we're always going to be in a position to kind of be in this type of predicament. And I like what what I love about this is just having the ability to bring up names and talk about it, right? I don't know anything about Barrett Sprack or Speck, but I'm glad that Jim and Buddy know so that they can talk about them and we can kind of get them in the mix of people's awareness and consciousness of like that this guy's good. And then, we'll let the season kind of play out as far as the real rankings,
yeah. I think Jim though, I did click on his track wrestling.
Yep.
Barrett Speck's a stud.
Oh yeah.
There's not even a debate. The kid's a stud. The Swartz kid, he's a stud.
Yeah.
Like these kids have got a track record, although at IKWF or ISA or wrestling in the summer circuit, they deserve that. Logan Roberts just lost to Mauser 8-3. Kid from Warrensburg Latham.
We say that one more time. Who lost to Mauser?
Logan Roberts. Yeah.
And what was the score to that you said?
8-3.
8-3. So yeah, I mean that's another.
I was just digging through 1A 120 stuff, and I'm like, not much has changed, and then I thought about Barrett Speck. I go, why? How is he not on the board?
Anybody know where Schwartz wrestled for club? By chance?
What's his name?
Schwartz.
Nathan.
Oakwood.
Mason.
From Oakwood.
Oakwood.
Oh, hold on. He's got Mason Schwartz.
There's a
You
Schwartz
said Mason?
there's a Schwartz that runs he runs the Riot Room Club. I don't know if that's in relation to him or Riot Room's over kind of that area, isn't it?
Yeah.
Schwartz or Schwartz?
Hoopstown kid.
SWARTZ.
He had been a Storm kid because all them guys down like Storms. So
okay.
Yeah, Storm's that whole southern like area. That's where Eiler's from, out of Storm.
Okay. So
Mason Stewart.
So Logan Roberts has to drop.
Storm, yep. Yeah, Logan Roberts definitely has to drop.
So yeah, here's the just so you guys are aware where we were at with 120. So Logan Roberts has to drop because Mauser beats him. Okay. Ooh, that's good though for Mauser. So Mauser's moving up.
Mauser's tough, dude. I think did Augie beat Mauser at the state tournament? It was pretty sure he did.
Oops. But that was a 8-3 match. I think that's another thing that I was thinking about after the Dvorak is like again that 3-point takedown makes a close match kind of look like it's like a significant win, but even in the what was the end score of Tennyson versus Munaredo?
11-3.
Yeah, but it's a couple. One, if he doesn't get awarded the takedown, that takes away 3. So now it's 8-3. So you get one exchange that changes.
That,
Yeah,
that
there was
take,
that really takedown on the edge that was like,
yeah, there was
Uh,
one takedown and the unsportsmanlike, which, I mean, here they're battling hard. Whatever kid reacted was getting the call. Yeah, I mean, just how it worked. So there was, I mean, Munaretto. I don't know, man. That was a good match. That was a good match to watch. Right?
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying with the 3-point takedown. You know, it can go real bad real quick, and it can kind of shake things up. You know.
Oh yeah, there's kids getting teched in the first period that are probably never been teched in their life. Right?
Well,
In
3 and 4s,
in
baby.
folk style. In folk
3
style.
plus 4, real quick. You know,
yeah, I like it though.
real quick.
All right, well, that's good
You
to know.
would like it. You would.
Oh,
Yeah,
you don't like it? Do you not like it?
I love it actually. I'm hoping
Yeah.
these guys I'm hoping all these kids that like bombs like to go big. The Ray Longs down 10-1, getting mauled by the kid from Montini, and he's like goes double unders, jacks him up, rips a headlock. Even if he doesn't get the fall, he's now in a 10-8 match. And it's like, whoa, okay, you cut him, you get a takedown, it's a tie. Before when you're down 10-1, but would it even be 10-1 under the old, you know what I mean? It's all crazy.
Yeah.
I
I
love it.
definitely don't. Yeah, I don't really have too many like hard opinions on it. I don't think you had to change the rules to get people to wrestle a little bit more aggressively, but it definitely is. It definitely throws a little wrench into the system when it comes to like what you're saying. Like you could be down by a lot, and you could just. I mean, think about. Here's an old match. Mark Stewart, you might remember. Do you remember? Was it Caraway versus Zanoni?
Wow. Chris or Steve?
Steve in the state finals. Steve was winning, and this is unfortunate for Steve. Steve was winning, and he got thrown. I think it was Brian. He's a Mount Carmel guy, and he got thrown to his back, and he lost the match. But like, think about it now, and it looked like he was, going to win the match, and it was just another one of those situations where, a match could be kind of looking like it's out of distance, and all of a sudden, a lot of things change quick. So, especially if somebody has one good headlock, one good throw, or something like that. So, but things could change. Yeah, I guess we can move on from 120 though. I mean, I think I moved Roberts after losing to Mauser. We're moving Lawrence up. We're gonna add Barrett Speck and Mason Schwartz, and Colin Lindenmuth is just gonna drop down. So I've got a top 8. I don't know if we add any, but we did look at some of these other schools. We talked on a little bit about the Metamora tournament. Jackson Norris won at 120, but again, we won't really see them against Byron. We won't see Byron against some of the significant ranked kids until Princeton tournament. We've got.
Yeah, I looked up the Metamora tournament too. I just didn't see any names that would like change anything. I guess.
Match
I
was
mean,
right there.
Yeah, there was a couple, and then there's like a couple 2A schools like Galesburg. So the head-to-head matchups don't really affect the rankings. But yeah, so I think I have some changes for 20, but not too much. Tennyson, Waddle stay the top 2. We can go to 26. Anything else? I mean, should we move through? Should we jump to the ones that we know? I mean, off the top
I think
of our head.
I just got a couple things about 20. I got one thing on 26. One,
right.
and it's not even a change; it's just some information.
Okay.
Marchese goes 2-2. Nick Marchese, Marion Central. Nick Marchese goes 2-2. He loses to the eventual champ, Rocco Cassiope, and he loses to Tommy O'Connor, who took 7th. Those are his 2 losses in the tournament.
Yeah, and
So he's feeling better. He got over.
He's. I think he's 95% ready. I think next weekend he's going to be.
He's literally in on a double. I love Nick. He's in on a double. Tie the matchup with like, I'll put him out on blast. I told him to his face. I'll say it 100 times. Bro, you are more than good enough. You should beat that kid every time. But he finally wakes up in the third and gets takedown, cuts him, gets in on another takedown, tries to like run through it, but then do that step across, like where you step around it as you're finishing the double, and gives it up. And had he not done that and just ran across the body, overtime match with all of his points coming in the third period. He'll be good. He'll be fine in February, but
Yeah. Well, again, Gavin Ekberg, he suffered a loss too, as well, to a 2A wrestler. So,
who's that?
he lost to the Woodstock.
Hockey Baker?
Taki Baker, guy that got third at Rockford East.
Not Taki Baker.
I believe it was. Yeah. So, and then Kane Dauber won at 132 pounds. He won the Unity tournament. So, we got a lot going on.
Taki Baker is a little short, athletic dude, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Oh,
He's been on a roll since that 13. Since that he got majored by Bryson Tennyson. He came back to the Wrestlebacks, gave it to Bryson, our boy, and looks like he's been on a roll ever since. Let's go, Taki Baker.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to those guys in the 2A. But yeah, so I don't really know much. I mean, like Jim said, I don't really know. Nick Marchese went 2-2, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got to see a little bit more information for these guys. So let's go to 20, or let's go 38. 38, one of the good
Wait,
You don't
matches.
want to
32.
touch. We got to touch 32. But what I'll say about 32, I got a little insight on this weight.
Oh, no, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. I was going 232 from 26.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so 26, I don't really think we do too much because we don't really know much that has happened. So going to 32, this is where we had number
Was
4
Pontiac?
versus number 5.
Was Pontiac this past weekend?
I
No.
don't know. No. The only one, like I said, the ones that I think are basing anything off are
All right.
Dvorak, which
Then
is
I'm going to say
limited.
something. I got to say something. Harrison Diaz is a tough kid, but I did not realize Harrison Diaz beat Garrett Verheeg.
Oh, yeah.
that be-
I do have information on 132. I'm glad you brought this
With
up.
that being said, to me, it's Brandon Green. Listen, Junior Green is tough, man. He's a dog. I love watching that kid scrap. I like watching most of the Roxana kids scrap. Shout out to Michael Pixley because he works with that program, and you can tell they're nasty, tough, mean dudes. But Green can wrestle. But Dean Wainwright has got to be number 2 in the state in our rankings. Then he hasn't been beaten on the year. He got majored by Harrison Diaz.
Well, yeah. Okay. So Green beats the kid that beats Verhickey last week, and Green majors him 11-2. So who beat Verhickey last week?
Harrison Diaz.
Okay.
Dia.
Well, Brandon Green beats him Saturday. He beats him 11-2.
Yeah, I don't think that loss needs to be super consequential if you're looking at a ranking perspective, because I do think it's really Brandon Green, Dean Wainwright, and Verhickey. But Wainwright jumps to 2.
And what was specific about why Wainwright jumps to 2?
Well, Dean Wainwright, he was a state champ 2 years ago, and then he got what last year, right? 2 years ago, Dean Wainwright won a state title. Then last year, he gets third with Tennyson and Waddle, first and second. So that's not like, oh, you went from state champ to third. You had Tennyson and Waddle, who are both studs, so you get third.
I mean,
Wainwright hasn't lost on the air. And so to me, Wainwright is your clear number 2, and Verhickey's your clear number 3 at this point.
So who's the clear number 1? Green?
Green.
Junior Green all day, baby.
I got you.
All day.
Roxana.
Roxana. Shells in the house.
But are we're not basing that off of any specific matchups?
Yes, we
We're
are.
picking it up. So the kid that beat Verhickey,
Just
Junior,
got majored. That
Brandon.
kid that beat him was majored by Green.
But Wainwright
So-
has not lost.
But Wainwright has not lost. He's a returning. 2 years ago, he's a champ, and last year he's third of Tennyson and Waddle.
who are both state champs. So I mean,
Yeah.
those
So he's
are
still-
3 champs, 1, 2, 3 right there.
Who has Wainwright wrestled this year? Mark Stewart. Can you tell me that?
I'm gonna look
Nope.
him up.
All right, Dalton will. Dalton will. But hey, Landon. Oh, while we're looking this up, Landon Blanton won the. Where was Amboy? Landon Blanton won the Stillman Valley tournament.
No, Landon Blanton won the Erie Provincetown tournament.
And
Lincoln
won
Holger.
Yeah,
Lincoln
You're
Holger
right.
won Stillman Valley,
yeah. Lincoln Holger beat Nelson Benish in the finals.
and then you can't push Ian Akers anywhere out because I'm pretty sure Ian Akers is a state finalist last year in
Ian
1A at 13 to Peyton Waddle.
Yeah, Ian Akers is a qualifier. He got fourth, and he's a runner-up.
And he hasn't lost this year, and he's won Metamora, Glenwood, Illini Bluffs. In fact, I'd probably move Ian Akers over Lincoln Holger. He got great coaches down at Notre Dame with the Burks out there working out with him. And yeah, I mean, he's a tough dude.
Yeah, I would bring Ian Akers in the top 6 for sure. And
Well, he's 5th right now. Wait, where do we have him here?
We do
we
not
don't-
have him on the
we
list.
don't have him.
What?
He needs to be above Benish.
What?
Who's that? I can't hear. I
Akers.
was reading.
Akers needs to be above, I would say, Benish and Blanton.
And
Lincoln Holger.
Was
And
he a
Holger.
returning placer?
Yeah, he's a
Akers.
returning state runner-up.
Runner-up.
Oh, okay. We missed that.
And he got 4th the year before that. And he was a qualifier as a freshman.
I
I think he's got Duke and Danny Burke in his corner. I don't know if both Burks are at Niles Notre Dame anymore. Or Peoria Notre Dame, sorry.
But didn't we mess around with Akers at 38, and that's why we had that screwed up? Maybe.
I don't know. I remember bringing him up. So yeah, Akers. Let's see, your Holger beat Benish, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Holger beat Benish. So do we bring Holger down to 5? We leaving Benish in here at 6 and bringing Akers in at 4?
Yeah, I think this is what we do. I think because again, I'm trying to add to the list. So I think if we continuously add and we get to 10, then we can stop right around there. But Wainwright he hasn't lost, so he can't move. Green's 2, Varicki is 3, Akers 4, Hoger 5, Benish 6, Blanton 7. I mean, to take Blanton off the list just because we add Akers because we may have made a mistake. He just won the Prophetstown tournament. We got to look at that Polo kid. That's one of the things we were going to talk about, right? So
He'll be 2A, unfortunately.
oh,
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
So Polo has Polo, Forreston, Milledgeville, and Eastland all in a co-op.
and so they got to go up to that's
Yeah.
what like Belvedere had the 2 they co-opted and then they went to 3A.
Yeah.
So I get it. All right.
Eastland,
Hey.
Eastland was with West Carroll, when that kind of hurt West Carroll's numbers. And
Listen, I just want to clarify one thing, guys. I want this on record. This is if we could legally bet. My bet, and I will bet it all day. Brandon Green is the number 1 wrestler in Class A at 132 pounds, and he will be a state champion. He is a dog that finished at watching him wrestle at Fargo, as well as
Say it again.
no.
I'm just
Junior Green will win the 132 pound state title in 1A this year.
Hallelujah. I'm
Guarantee
with you.
that. Nothing. It's not a knock on Dean Wainwright,
Yeah.
or Hickey, or any of Nelson Benish. I love the Benish family.
Yeah.
Ian Akers, good kid. Love his coaches. Dude, Brandon Green
You
is
saw
a
that picture.
dog.
You saw that picture.
Shells.
You saw that picture I sent of him, right?
Yeah, the kid's
Come
a
on.
stud.
yeah.
That is a stud.
Listen, I love the conviction. He's your guy. I got it.
He's not my guy. I just know the kid's gonna win the thing.
Well,
And I
mean,
love. Hey, he's got Michael Pixley 8 months out of the year in his corner.
I'm not
It's a
saying-
win-win. Pixley's
maybe-
God.
Maybe he's not.
Yeah, and
he's not
honestly,
your guy, but he's
like-
definitely your guy.
Oh yeah.
You're picking him.
And I just looked. A name that we kind of crossed over last time too at this weight, and I know you have Blanton above him, but Alexander Ferrari from Lyle, state qualifier at 120 last year. He beat Blanton at the regional and then beat him at the sectional last year.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
he took third at Stillman Valley. Right? Where was Blanton at? So I don't keep on saying the wrong tournament.
Erie.
Erie Prophets.
Here. Yeah, I think Ferrari took third there, if I remember.
He took third of the Stillman Valley tournament. So that's I don't know. Yeah, again, I'm not sure where he's gonna fall as far as coming into the sectional or what sectional he's in. But I remember seeing that name because of how the sectional played out last year. So I remember talking about him in our on our podcast about the sectional preview, how he could kind of fall back and wrestle him in the blood round, and it ended up being Blanton and Ferrari for third and fourth.
Got it. Well, we
Hey,
can.
we're gonna add them, right? And just
Yeah.
as the
Yep.
season goes, we
Yep.
maybe get a little bit more clarification.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I think Landon Blanton, he's out of Amboy. They moved. He's in Newman. He's a different kid. Yeah, I mean, different
Yep.
program, different kid.
Yep, not knocking, just throwing out some statistics.
Oh no, I get it.
Yep.
No.
All right, cool.
Oh yeah, one more time. Brandon Green will be your 132 1A state champ.
You heard it here, folks. All right, cool. Well, let's go. 38, no change. I don't see too much.
Jude Finch won the Erie Provincetown tournament. You were down there, buddy, right?
Yeah.
How'd he look? He's a stud.
Same good. He's good.
Jude Finch, dog.
Yep.
Dog.
And we haven't seen. Coal City was in a duel, so they didn't have any tournament. So we didn't see Woodlowski. We saw Alvarado at Dvorak. Some good and some not so good, I think.
Yeah.
But I think he definitely has the ability to stay where he's at.
I think he's still learning the weight class, if that makes sense, right? Like he's figuring out what he can and can't do.
I look at Andrew Alvarado like this. When February comes, that's when you really get him. If you go look at his record, and I love Andrew. He don't like me 99% of the time, and I'm fine with that. That's a fact. But the reality is, like, when you look at his results as the season goes on, he wins big matches. His problem last year was you had Vance Williams at 132 and Andrew Alvarado at 132. So Vance Williams at 132 and Andrew had to go 38. It was undersized. We saw Andrew Alvarado at state duels at 132.
Yeah.
Mark, I have
We
a
all know
question.
what happened. Yep.
How does anybody not like you, though?
I can be brutally honest. Sometimes I say things that I shouldn't say.
As
I'll
a-
be like, hey, I love this kid. This kid's going to win a state title. Anybody I know that I'm friends with whose son is at that weight, whose I didn't pick, they're like, dude, you think that guy would beat my kid? I'm like, it's not personal, but yes. Or, if you send 16 emails bad mouthing somebody, I'm probably going to call you out on it. And it's nothing personal. I still shake your hand afterwards, but I got to say the truth. I speak the truth. It comes from the heart with best of intention, baby.
Yeah.
Junior Green, 132 state champ.
You cut out. Junior Green.
I said Junior Green, 132 state champ. You might know him. His rankings is Brandon, but we call him Junior.
Okay.
Michael Pixley trained. Roxana.
So yeah, all right.
Stewie's going to be wearing a Roxana shirt tomorrow, man. It's coming. It's coming FedEx.
Hey, can you call Green's dad and tell him to send me a large? Even a hand-me-down. I'll wear that shell all day.
All right. Well, so Jude Finch, he's staying at the top at 38. 44. Emmett Nelson, he won the Richmond tournament, correct?
He got beat in the finals this past weekend in Riverside Brookfield, 8-4 to Caleb Nobling from Antioch.
I remember that name, Nobling. He's been good for a long time.
Well, there's been a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
So the oldest is at Wartburg. The middle was at Wartburg, and then I think he ended up at Elmhurst. The middle one had a couple state medals. The oldest was tough too. He's like, I think, a one-time qualifier. The middle child's like a three-time medalist, including IWCOA. The youngest has got all the tools. He definitely has the tools. He wrestled a really good match.
What class is Antioch?
They're 2A.
2A. Okay.
What was the score, Mark?
8-4.
Escaping a takedown.
Nobly took him down twice.
Yeah, I was just adding 3 plus
Yeah.
1, 4.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. So is he getting back in shape? Did you see him at the Richmond tournament?
Who, Nobly or Nelson?
Yeah.
Nelson's in shape, and he's a very good wrestler. Just Caleb Nobly kind of created some situations where there was some scrambling, and he won the position, and then he's got the lead, right? He's got the lead in the third. Not a lot of time left. I will say this: could have called Nobling for stalling. I think the ref eventually did. I told his dad I would have called him twice, and he laughed. But I meant it. But Emmett was forced to come forward. He needs to get a takedown to win, right?
Yeah.
Which tried to create a little chaos, and so he gave up another takedown, and that's pretty common. It happens often.
Yeah. Well, when you try to force action, sometimes bad things happen.
Yeah.
You can't take.
So Emmett Nelson is in shape to me.
Okay.
But
So it's nothing from that end. It's just this kid. So I got to get through 2A so I know where this Nobling kid ranks at the 2A.
Where's Nobling 2A, Mark, off the top of your head?
He's like a top 9 kid.
Okay. All right.
So 44 is that tough at 2A?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Plus I'm a big believer that styles make matchups, and certain styles of wrestlers can create problems. Even for, a kid could lose to average Joes and beat Hammers because stylistically he does things that are unorthodox. You ever seen a kid give up high C's like Vance Williams and sit to a corner and score an ungodly amount of takedowns out of it?
Right.
Yeah, Vance is he can definitely make I get what you're saying.
Evan Gaz's hips are like that too. Like Evan Gaz is like, oh, and all of a sudden you're yelling Pinzo with Jeff. Pinzo, and the kid's stuck, and you're like, how'd he do it? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. So nothing in this weight class is changing, even with that loss for Emmett.
I don't know. Does it?
I have nothing at 144 at all.
Is Caden Inman from Tolono down at 44?
I don't know. He wrestled Cox.
Cox certified at 38 last Thursday.
Yeah, we confirmed that. Like he's a 38 pounder.
Right,
for
but
sure.
he got Inman got 4th at Washington at a low weight though. Was that at 44?
Yeah, well, we had him down at 50, so I don't know if that is what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, that's the thing. If Caden Inman wrestled at the Washington tournament at 44 or 50.
Hold on. I like Caden Inman. That could be a really search events. Washington, Illinois.
He lost to Peyton Cox at 144.
So Inman has
Washington Holiday Invitation.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's wrestling 144. But he's wrestling 144. Interesting. All right, well, that's new information. Inman's got to get off of 150. But because you don't normally see, I mean, obviously this is something that we can talk about. We had him ranked at 150, Caden Inman from Unity at 150. He wrestled 144 at Washington. But the number one rank
here's the thing.
is that wrestled 57 this week.
When you look at that tournament, right, if you just go, oh, he got 4th. Okay, but Peyton Cox got beat in the finals by Maxime, and I will never try it from Hersey. I will never say his Muka Medaliev, however you say it. Caden Inman took 4th, but he lost in the 3rd place match 3-2 to Antonio Parker of Rock Island. But at 5th, you have Aiden Arnett from IC Catholic. So, like, if you want to look at, like, is that a tough tournament? Well, go to Dvorak and look at Aiden Arnett's result. sports, if you look at the results, final results from Dvorak, Aiden Arnett beat Kellen Kirshner by fall in the third place match. Now I know Kellen was winning, but he took third at that tournament at 44. Evan Gaz and Maxime were in the finals. So although there's a fourth place finish in there from
Wait, when was
Caden
that?
Inman,
Tournament?
12-14. It was last weekend. Inman won Unity. He took fourth at that tournament in Washington. I've
Was
seen Caden wrestle a lot this summer. To
Was
me,
Inman at 44 for the Unity tournament?
who? Inman, yeah, he won it.
At 44. So Inman's down at 44.
Yes.
So
To me,
we got to bring him back in the rankings at 44. Then.
Yeah.
is he one?
I think
Or
it's
is he two?
Yeah, no shit, right?
Man.
God, it's one in it's him. He's one or two. And then it ends up being after that I go Cooper Corder, Ace Christensen.
Well, yeah, I think that's a tough one. But what I was kind of alluding to, guys, is if we go to the next weight class, and we take into consideration that Jackson Carroll wrestled at 157, if he didn't go down to 150, maybe Caden Inman goes up. I don't know.
He'll be at 50.
Yeah, I think we confirmed that Carroll will be
Oh.
at 50 for state
Yep.
series.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to leave my boy Harrison Bauer out of the talk either at 144. That's going to be a brutal sectional. Nelson, Corder, Christensen. Harrison's wrestling tough right now. He major attacked heading everybody through the EP tournament. He lost in the blood rounds last year at state as a sophomore.
How do you spell his name?
Bauer,
Arison.
Arrison, I believe.
Okay, and Bauer is just Bauer.
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll add them to the list as we make this list longer.
Mhm.
And yeah, Harrison Bauer got first place at the Erie Prophetstown tournament, and he did it with a major decision, 13-2. So nice. All right, well, we'll put Caden. We'll put Caden at 2. I like the idea of keeping Nelson at 1 and Inman. Nelson is a champion, right?
Two-time
Runner-up.
He got 5th or 6th last year.
6. I think he injured or he met it out after the semis.
Yeah, I knew.
How Caden Inman do last year?
He lost to Carroll in the finals.
Okay,
Caden Inman's one, right?
I don't want to go anti-Emmett here, but we're going to put Caden in as Caden's coming off a win, Emmett's coming off a loss. You almost got to.
You have a state runner-up.
Wrestling math.
And he's returning state runner-up. Because I got news for people. It's not what have you done lately is usually more important to me than 2 years ago. And listen, Emmett Nelson as a wrestler is a good dude. He's a great wrestler. I like the kid. This is going to be but for the sake of a ranking right now, I think that Caden Inman deserves to be the number 1 ranked kid in the state. Okay. Emmett's loss to Nobling, who wasn't a state qualifier in 2A last year, is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
If you're looking from a ranking perspective. Now,
Yeah,
if you left him 1, I'm totally fine with that too.
Yeah, I mean, you sold me.
But I love, he's a Logan Pat. He's a patent trained kid too. He's a Tolona Unity patent trained dude. He's a tough kid. I like him.
All right.
State final loss to Jackson Carroll's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, 150 kind of changes now because that loses one guy. We got Jackson Carroll 1. We're gonna move just the whole lineup up with Vance Williams going to 2.
Yeah.
And,
Well, Vance had a good Dvorak. He takes 3rd. He loses 1 match in the semis to the runner-up Carson Weber.
Yeah.
So, and then Holden Brazelton. I believe we talked about him.
Yeah. Well, we had him.
Hold on. One more thing. Caden Inman did beat Emmett Nelson in the quarters last year, 7-1.
At state.
Yes.
All right.
Then it's in ink, no more pencil. He's number 1.
We moved on.
All right. Sorry about that.
Holden Brazelton's the there. Let me not skip over Vance like I just did.
Oh,
I
he
just
did.
kind of
Yep.
rattled that off. But like, so yeah, Vance takes third at Dvorak. It's a big deal, man. He loses to Carson Weber. Carson Weber's a finalist.
Yeah.
Vance had a good tournament. Vance is Vance. You know what I mean? Like you're never safe. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And what about Buddy? Will you talk about Carroll? Because I don't know much about him, but he won.
Yeah. Yeah, another patent train guy. He said he trained at Unity all summer with them guys too. He won last year. 2 times. There's a 3-time qualifier for state champ last year. He'll be at 50. He told me. It's kind of bullshit with him a little bit, but he looks smooth. He beat Ivy and he beat Goosens. Beat up Ivy a little bit, and he took Goosens down 3-4 times, I think.
Yeah.
So,
And that's two of our 157-pound ranked wrestlers. So impressive.
That Mark Stewart, you were here. Remember when I remember when I think you were here. Bowden Delaney came out with Jackson Carroll, and in real life he's a big kid, man. He's a big 150.
Yeah, he's a very big 150.
Yeah.
he's gonna fill that spot real tough. So, and that's gonna be, oh shoot, I have to recheck that. The Van Daly kid, that could be, if Carroll's down at weight, that could be a pool play matchup at Abe's.
Who's the Vandalia one? Hinton?
Yeah.
Hinton? Dylan?
Hit-
Yeah. Dylan's good, man. Dylan on top is like Dylan's good.
All the Van Daly guys are tough on top, man.
Yeah.
So Dylan Hinton, that we had ranked at 44, is at 50.
Did he move or not? Where did he wrestle? Well, let's see. He would have been at the Unity invite, right? Or no, he wouldn't have been. Where did Vandalia wrestle last weekend, Mark, or yesterday?
I'm looking.
Civic Memorial. One with Civic Memorial.
Shelbyville, Mattoon. They wrestled in a duel.
Tune me out for a minute here.
Let's see. I got a duel. They didn't wrestle. Let's see right here. Nope, that one's no results. Where did he wrestle for that one? All right. This one should be good. Hinton wrestled 57. So yeah, he is definitely not at 44.
Yep.
All right. He's definitely not there. All right. Man, we got to go through. Man, this game is tough. Luckily, there's more kids there. So, but the rankings are always tough because, you know, he's at 57. So he's going to be at 50. You know?
Yeah. Van Daly kids are big. They'll be up and then they'll come down for state series, I believe. Like I say, they're usually pretty large kids.
So Brazelton's going 50 now with Caden Inman going down to 44.
Right.
I mean, I always thought Holden was big anyways.
And
Whatever
Holden,
weights he.
they're on the same team, you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah. I think Inman kind of made that determination.
So does Hinton go above Vance Williams or Vance Williams above Hinton?
To me,
On my back.
I just look. Vance is a 3-time state medalist and a 2-time runner-up. Like, there ain't no way. And I love the Vandalia program. I love the way they wrestle. They're nasty, mean kids. I love it. Obviously, I threw my love out there for Junior Green. Okay, Vance Williams has got to be ranked ahead of Hinton, no matter what. Until they've wrestled.
They wrestled last year at Abe's Rumble. I remember watching it.
Yep.
What happened?
Vance won, but it wasn't. Vance won. I can tell you that, but it was
Okay.
fairly. I don't know. Look it up. Google it, Mark.
I
It
got
was.
Do I need to use the Google?
Please.
Hold on, guys. I'm pulling up the Google.
The Google.
The Google.
You go. I bet I have the match if I look into my files.
Abe.
I have all of Abe's. I have so much video from Abe's that I don't know what to do with.
Is it Abe's Rumble last year where you and I had some good talks
Yeah.
in the lobby? Yes, I got some Dalton Bullard perspectives. I was impressed. It was some good stuff. Let's look up results here from the Abe's Rumble team results. Marion Central.
Buddy and I are talking small block Chevys in the parking lot.
I don't know nothing about cars. I'm as bad with cars as it gets. Vance won 7-1 up at 38. So Vance did weigh in at 32 there. And then he got bumped to 38 and he beat Hitton 7-1.
Hey, come back at 8:13.
What?
10.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have it. All right, so Vance is 2, Hinton's 3, Crouch is 4. We'll just move the line down. Anybody that you guys think off the top of your head to add to the list that isn't at the list already here?
Where's Holden Brazelton? I know I walked away, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Where's Holden Brazelton?
I put him in at 7 right now.
Okay.
Just because he's
I think
changing.
he had a couple wins at Unity that matter.
Yeah. So we got to figure out. I mean, some of these matchups. Brady Lahr from Quincy, Notre Dame, Mason Garner. Unless we see some matchups, I guess. But I just put Holden Brazelton in at 7 as we took Inman down to 44.
mm-hmm.
50,
right.
Yeah, now 57 we kind of covered in the 50. Well,
Yeah.
talking about Jackson Carroll, so this shouldn't be.
Holden Brazelton lost to Hinton 5-3. So yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So Hinton's my 3.
Yeah, Hinton's 3. I got Hinton.
Does that make Brazelton 4?
Well, the hard part is until I see some more head-to-head results, why would I move Crouch out of the 4 spot, and why would I move Garner?
what did Crouch do this weekend? Can we look him up?
I thought you were the track guy.
I'm kind of am. I got Ziller sending me deer pictures.
Does he know that we're trying to get important stuff done?
No, Ziller is not a Google guy at all. Ziller doesn't.
He's not into the Google?
Not at all. Ziller is basically Amish.
He's the only guy. All right, so Mason Garner, he had the Oakwood duel. He beat Kagan LeClaire. He beat Peterson. He beat Hill. He lost to Liam Sullivan from Downers Grove North at 157 this year. So, I mean, that maybe does count having a loss, but it's to a 3A Downers Grove.
I look back last year. I know Holden Brazelton's really good, right? He was at St. Joseph Ogden. Now he's at Tolono. But he lost 9-2 to Jude Finch, who, let's be honest, was probably one of the best kids in all of 1A last year, who won state title. Wins his wrestleback and then loses to Grennan, 6'3", who finished 3rd.
And that's another thing too.
That's the thing too about are we picking how these kids are going to place, how these draws are going to roll out come state tournament time. Like just for example,
state predictions are different than state rankings. That's for sure. Those brackets come out and you go, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. That's just.
I'll give you an example. In 3A right now, in my opinion, after watching, I've seen him before. I saw him at Grappler Fall, and I was like, wow. Justice Heeg, will he have any seeding criteria? He's a freshman, but he is a Minnesota State champion last year. And I got to look in 2A. He's beaten Carson Weber
Chuck
twice
that
in
one
the
out,
last
Colton.
10 days. If he wins a sectional, he's a 4. Under my understanding of the ISA seating criteria, he has, like, if there's 3 medalists, he's done. He gets the 4. I would hate to be the kid that gets the 1 seed and has him on my side because he's probably the best kid in the state right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
No.
he's good, but I mean, if you're the 1 seed, you got to beat them all.
Yep.
But yeah, that kid, I like that kid a lot. I don't know, this is a side topic, but I was very impressed with how calm he was with the situation that he was in. Man, he was wrestling cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah.
I like that kid. Well, hey guys, before we get to, we're at 57. Before we get to going through the rest of the weight classes, I don't think I'm not getting through these. And so let's just jump to, I know, Jim, I know you're aware of a couple that we have to get to. What are those ones?
Well, that Chasen, I'm gonna butcher his last name, Kazmasirik, the
Wheaton
teammate.
kid.
Yep, he won the Stillman Valley tournament. He, I know we have him on there, just so you know, like one of the ranked guys did do some winning. 1A 165, Daniel Kelly wins the Erie Prophetstown tournament.
Yep.
That was
I wanted to ask you about Mezendijk. I have Mezendijk. I have a question mark next to it.
Yep, that was a good finals match. Menzadijk was winning 1-0 with about 3 seconds left to give up a reversal on a scramble.
Okay.
So had the ride out going, and Kelly, they're wrestling. Kelly was up, down. We were breaking them down. It was a good ride out. Fortunately, we got hit for the stalling on top. Reset the match. 20 seconds left. Kelly got us in a scramble. Got the reversal with a couple seconds left.
Oh, so it's a 2-1 match.
2-1. I don't know if they got some near fall at the end or whatever counted, but it was in a kind of a scramble situation at the end. So it was a very good match.
All right.
So Menzadijk definitely comes up in the talk as far as
it was 2-1 decision.
Yeah, 2-1. So I didn't think he came into Pearson at the end. So yeah,
Wow.
it was a scramble at the end.
Well, good for Menzendijk.
Yep.
I mean, how do we can put him in the mix, just put him on the list. Nick Estacio, we didn't get to see. He wasn't at the Dvorak.
No. Yeah, I think we throw Mezendijk on the list, and then we revisit, and then we talk about him after Abe, see what he does down there. I mean, he has to be on the list, having that close of a match with Kelly.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Our guy Riley Leaf hit. He takes second place at the Unity Invite. The Ottawa kid, Riley.
You're talking heavyweight.
No, 165.
65.
165 still. And then who is Mark Stewart? Abe Ram Davidson.
Abram Davidson. Dude. Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay.
Nothing. Right. Hey, I love Logan Patton. I don't know where these kids keep coming from though.
Well, he won the Unity tournament at 165.
Son of a gun. Abram Davidson. ABRAM. You know what? I'm gonna call. I gotta call this.
He was
guy.
He got third down at the Washington tournament. That's a tough tournament.
I get it, but I mean, I don't know where. I don't remember this kid last year. So
no,
that's where I'm like, who is this kid?
Jim, remind me of the Riley kid. What?
Riley Leaflet. I did spell it correctly this time, just so in case we had to do this.
Okay.
Leifheit. This is one of Noonan's guys. He's a tough kid.
165. I got it.
What's his name?
Which one? Abram Davidson.
Abram Davidson was a freshman he's a freshman, sophomore last year?
He's a sophomore.
Okay, so last year as a sophomore, this young cat, he got beat at IWCOA in the state finals by my boy Aiden Arroyo in the finals at IWCOA state, 7-5 Southern victory.
So he's a finalist.
IWCOA fresh off state he was, sure.
At 165.
Yep.
I think this kid gets talked about. Where is he from?
Tolono Unity.
They're tough, man. They're
Abram
tough.
Davidson.
That Logan Patton, he's doing things down in Central Illinois. Good kid too. Good man. Real good man as a coach. You see him at every freestyle Greco tournament in the state of Illinois. He's at Fargo, Central Regionals, Northern Play. He's everywhere.
And those are the
School teams.
those are the hockey jersey guys.
Wait, say his name again.
Abram,
No,
ABRAM.
I got him. The
Oh.
coat. You said Patton?
Logan Patton. Yep.
Now is that Chuck? Like, you remember a guy named Chuck Patton?
No, Chuck Patton from Woodstock, old man Patton, Coach Patton. No.
No. He was from Peoria. I forget. Yeah. This kid Chuck Patton. He wrestled for Peoria. His old. Yeah, I mean.
Wait,
I don't know how
he's
old-
a kid? Or are you talking about?
Well, he's not a kid now. We're old, man.
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about, actually. Was he a Pekin kid?
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere around there. All I'm saying is that when you say somebody's last name, and I haven't seen him for a while. I mean, we're no longer kids, so we're pretty old now. So. But I didn't know who you said Patton trained, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Logan Patton. But Logan, I think, is like he's a straight up like been at Tolono for a long time.
Yeah.
All right. But it's down south towards that, right? But either way, no worries. I was just curious. All right. Abram Davidson, Riley.
So that's another one. We'll check on him after Abe's Rumble. Fair enough.
Yep.
See what he
fair
does down there at 65. Him and Mezendijk see each other maybe. Now then we really got something to talk about.
enough. Yep. 75.
Go ahead.
175, Eli Larson, Stockton Lena boy. He wins the Erie Prophetstown tournament.
Eli Larson and Zamora go 1 and 2. Landon Benson's beat twice. Bowden Delaney got beat by Zamora.
Yeah, Angel Zamora over Bowden Delaney 14-10 at the Unity Invitational.
Him and Larson are both undefeated.
Delaney was winning that match, though, wasn't he?
I don't know. I didn't talk to Bob. All I did was look at the track wrestling results and saw the score.
That's why I was curious. Zamora, Angel, whatever, he scores big points. He scores.
Oh, this is one guy you were talking about that goes big.
He puts people on their back.
Okay.
Yes.
So Zamora beat Delaney, and Mark Stewart said that Benson has lost twice.
Yeah, Landon Benson been beat twice. Landon Benson was beat by. Hold on. His CS 8-4, and then Zach Montez bumped up to 75 and beat him 7-2. I know
Over
Montez probably Landon Benson from Coal City.
Okay. Yep. 7-2. Wow. I watched Montez in the finals at preseason nationals. He didn't win.
Good.
He lost to the God.
He's real good.
He lost to the Minnesota kid, the stud. I won't think of his name now. He's a Greco state champ. He's a Greco Fargo finalist. Minnesota kid.
Now, do we know for a fact that Lyndon Thies is at 165?
He's going to go 75 for some of the duels, but he'll be 65 for the state series. I talked to Brandon. I don't know if you were with us yet. I don't know if you weren't hired yet. But
no, we had planned a Saturday, and then you turned around on Friday and said we're doing a Friday, and I said I was at a birthday party for Alanis, and you were like, "Sorry, sucker." You guys rolled out without me, dude. It's cool. Yeah. I see how we do things around here.
I don't recall that, but might have happened.
Yeah, so Thies is at 65 from what we understand.
Roxana,
that's Mark's voice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a real big fan of the Roxana kids. I mean, they're hitting Kimuras and they're doing all sorts of stuff you're not supposed to do in wrestling. But hey, find the gray area. I say, hey, when the kid finds the gray area and he's kind of like on the edge of breaking a rule, I'm like, yeah, he's not breaking a rule. I mean, I think there's an arm in that choke. Good enough for me.
Kind of pregnant.
Kind of pregnant isn't pregnant.
Move on.
Wait, it is.
Either way, I'm gonna leave. I just think we gotta leave Landon Benson there. I mean, until he's. Are
you kidding me?
I mean, this weekend we're gonna find out. Do you guys see Coal City in the pools? Where are you guys at?
Oh yeah, hey, Mark Stewart, Buddy's has the Marion pool for Abe's.
Remind me though, right, guys?
Buddy, how did you get a privy to this intel?
It's on track, I think.
It's on
via channel1450.com.
They
I
posted
like
on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cool
My
City.
point is this though, like we're irrelevant in that matchup of like deciding, in my opinion. Listen, the Coal City kids are tough. They are good. I like them. They're really good. I just think I go, okay, what did Eli Larson do at the state tournament last year?
Second runner up.
Yep.
At 175?
Yep.
Correct.
He loses to Watkins from Mantino, but he's
Yep.
back. He's undefeated.
He burned
he's
through
back.
the Erie Prophetstown tournament.
Yep. And then I go, cool. So Zamora was at that weight and finished in fourth. Although he did beat him in the regular season. He stuck him somewhere, right?
He was winning.
For the sake
Eli was winning at Abe's. He's up by 10. Then Zamora hit a big move on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buddy, you're off. I'll make you big. You can say Eli Larson is winning
Eli
state
is
tournament.
winning state.
Okay, so listen. So I go look. Okay, Landon Benson is tough. Very, very tough. Landon Benson got beat 8-4 by a freshman. We're going to say he's still the top kid in the state. Then he loses to the Montez. But Eli, I'm not saying that he can't win. He's not going to win a state title. He's returning state champ, but he's up a weight class. Larson is long. The kid is long.
I like where Mark's going with this.
And in my opinion, and listen, I think in that weight class, I go Landon Benson, Elijah Larson, Angel Zamora, Bowden Delaney, Blake
Livdahl.
Livdahl it could be a problem. Yes, he lost to Vasquez, but if you go watch the Casillas match, find me 50 out of 100 officials that don't say Livdahl got the takedown in the second period. They'll tell you that's a takedown all day. And you saw Casillas get that same takedown awarded to him. Otherwise, you're talking about Blake Livdahl beat Casillas, who then turns around and beats Landon Benson 8-4. Okay. So, and then you go, okay. So I look at like a group of 6 of kids and I go, any one of those kids could win the state title, right? They're all good enough.
On paper, Eli Larson's the favorite. I'm not gonna. There's no denying that. I mean, he's the man there. Livdahl's a problem. Delaney's a problem. Zamora obviously can turn into a problem, right?
Yeah, the way that kid
stylistically, in my opinion, Landon Benson, Livdahl will beat Landon Benson. Stylistically, yes. Angel Zamora's got to go big. I don't know if he can go big like that on a kid like Blake Livdahl. Bowden Delaney is
How do you throw around a fire plug?
You don't. And he doesn't give up the underhook. He's not going to give it. So unless you're flashy and can shoot from space and are fast, you're not winning that match. But Larson could be the one. Bowden Delaney, yes, he's tough. But styles are going to make matches. But right now, how do I not give a returning state runner-up coming back to the same weight class, the top ranking in the state of Illinois, when Landon Benson has been beaten by Marco Casillas 8-4 as a freshman?
And Eli Larson is, how tall is he? We did this before.
I don't know. He is tall.
He's taller than me, I think. He's 6'3", 6'4". Bowden Delaney is a big ass 175 man. Bowden's big 175. Bowden's a problem for everybody at 75. Blake Livdahl is the thickest 175 in the country. I mean, the kid's just built like a fire hydrant.
Like a fire hydrant.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think you.
Zamora outscored Delaney 11-2 in the third period.
Yeah.
And Delaney was winning to the third period. Yeah. So that's pretty.
All right. So this is what we'll do.
Gas tank.
We'll adjust those rankings. We'll put Eli at 1, Benson down to 2, Zamora at 3, Delaney at 4. Keep Ryan Rink at 5. Livdahl's at 6 still, and we'll see how these guys go the next couple weeks and argue from there. But before we get any further, we're gonna end it there. I think we're at an hour 30 on pod, and I think that's a great stopping point. I mean, we can jump to 190, but I mean, not much to talk about with the top spot. Jimmy Mastny, obviously,
looked terrible this weekend at the Dvorak.
Yeah, he dominated the Dvorak in as good as you could look. So, I mean, that weight class is staying the same for the most part. So,
Hunter Easton he was the Unity champ down there. Hunter Easton won his tournament. Maddox Anderson beats Oliver McPeak
Mm-hmm.
at the
Erie.
Erie's
Erie tournament.
Prophetstown.
And then but at 215, Luke pinned Fisher.
Oh yeah, I got this Jeremiah Luke with an apostrophe and then Buddy. So Jeremiah Luke, Erie Provincetown champ. He pinned all 3 kids to win it. First round bye. So Jeremiah Luke, obviously, you were there to see it, buddy. He's on a roll.
He's on a roll. He's, like I said before, he's the one who's going to outwork anybody. He's probably the hardest worker in the room. He's got that Marine mentality to him. And yeah, he kind of took it to the Fisher kid and ended up pinning him. So,
Danny, our guy Danny French takes 8th at Dvorak. He had a good tournament. You know what I mean, he's you know, small fish, big pond there. Dvorak's tough.
Nice. All right.
One more, and then we can revisit him then. But our guy that we talked about, Caleb Raymer from where the hell is Goosen from?
Erie.
Erie, yeah. He takes 2nd at the Erie Provincetown tournament. I don't know who won it. I just wrote down that he took 2nd.
Was it behind the East Peoria 2A kid?
Yeah, very well may have been.
Yeah,
it was. I
I
wanted to know who Jeremy Gagnon is.
Seneca.
Okay, I think he's in the mix of heavyweight. Randy McPeak medically forfeited out of the Dvorak tournament.
Yeah.
What am I looking at here? Hold on. This is ridiculous.
Our guy Buckets went. What did Buckets do, Mark?
2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, and then obviously, last week when we did the broadcast, Roy Phelps got the pin in the duel against Marion, and we got a chance to talk to him. I like that kid.
Roy's awesome.
I like him. So
we love it.
Then, what do you want to do? We'll shut it down and then restart at 75, or we'll retouch 70. Well, we'll redo it all.
Well, we can jump in and dive into a little bit more details of 90 and on, but then we're going to look at Abe's, and I think we start looking at the
Hey, I just want to say real quick, Jalen Torres got beat by McCarthy at heavyweight. Torres, returning state runner-up. McCarthy was
what tournament, Mark?
5th in the state last year, maybe. Eriestown. How do you say that? Eriestown, Prophetstown?
Yeah.
Erie Provincetown, yeah.
No, sorry, Plano.
No, that wasn't Erie. Yeah. So yeah, Jalen.
That was Plano. He beat him in the finals of got beat in the finals of Plano 6-1 by David McCarthy.
It was 1 even. Okay.
We'll look at that. We'll dive into that. We'll go back, but I do think we look at we start looking at the 1A the setup for Abe's, who's going to be in whose pool matchups and stuff like that. I think so.
Yeah. And when we touch up on 2A, I can't believe, looking back, I can't believe how poor of a job I did at 2A. Like no, really. I mean, I trade and did it. I never, you know what I mean? There's so many 2A kids I never even talked about that I don't know. I guess I just kind of lost them in the mix of.
I mean, I think if we weren't really into it, I think that's where the jumping off point, we could have started that jump off with done it in August, and then we would have gotten into, okay, who do we got to think about? So yeah, we did what we could. We did the best we could.
got to get the 2A ranking.
Yeah, we'll get to him. Because that Dominic Pasquale, remember I brought him up. He beat Christian Cochran. I don't know where he beat him, but he beat him.
There was a whole bunch of random weird wins, losses, some that kind of surprised me at the Dvorak that started to knock on the 2A, started to touch the 2A and the 3A realm.
Yep.
So there's a lot to just break down there. When you look at some of the rankings, I don't know how far we got.
Yeah, we only got to 44, so we got a lot to do.
I didn't know if Jim called and said, "Hey, let's finish 44 without Stuart Friday night at 9." I wasn't available or something.
Yeah. Well, just keep your phone on and stay available.
I was there today, Dalton. I didn't see you. I was in Oregon, Illinois.
Yeah, I was recovering from my work yesterday.
Don's on the couch with Crab or Groon watching Stand By Me.
Yeah. Yeah, don't hate on it, Jim. You know,
No,
it's
I'm all for it, man.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't have a couch or a TV.
Hey, are we still on air?
Yeah, we are now. But say goodbye to everybody. I'll end it right there. See you
Cool.
guys.